Hey guys, it's Dorian from Cravings, and I came 14th at the Montreal Regional that just passed last weekend with True Draco. So this is my profile. I played one Dynamite, that's pretty standard. Dynamite is at 1, he's banned to 1, he gets you your traps, he's great. I play 3 Ignis. Ignis at 3 is good. Ignis gets you everything you need. I do play Desires, so you want to make sure you get your Disciples back. Or else you banish all the good cards and all your other cards are engraved and you can't recycle anything, and that sucks. I play 2 Maiden. Maiden at 2 honestly is very good because I play Waterfall. Waterfall gets you the monsters you need. Maiden's good at 2300, but she doesn't do much else other than get you a monster, so I like to use her as additional monsters, but she's not that great since I play Waterfall. That's it for the monsters in the main deck. Off to the spells. I play 3 Disciples. Disciples is great because it's your recycler. I played against a couple mirror matches in Montreal, and it was the #1 card to get, especially since, like I said, you're playing Desires. So the only way to get your cards back, especially if you're playing with limited cards off of banishing a few, is to make sure you have Disciples at all times. I hate this card, playing it at 3. I really hate it. I did top with it though. I was only testing it, playing it at 2. This is True Draco Heritage. I was playing it at 2 for a long time because opening it going first without a monster or a diagram is literally useless. It's a dead card. It doesn't get rid of itself. If you don't have a trap, there's no reason to activate it. It just sucks. But playing it at 3, again, it was just the better option with the deck and the lineup. I'm playing it at 40 cards. And with, like we said, the True Draco mirrors going around, it was just best to draw 3 instead of not playing it at all. And we played 3 Demise. Demise, this is a French version of it, but it does the same thing. It draws you cards if you don't have any cards in your hand. This Demise for game is basically what it does. Sure, it gets ashed. Sure, it gets stopped, but it's like the best card in your deck, and you need those floodgates. I play 3 Diagram, and of course 2 Terraforming, which basically just turns into 5 Diagram or Diagram Fodder. This is correct because Terraforming is at 2 and Diagram's at 3. You should always play it at 3. Diagram's just a good card. I play Duality at 2. This is probably the only differences between my deck and someone else's because Duality is a brick at 3. You will Duality into Duality, which is like the most tilting thing ever. This is, if you see it sometimes, it's great. If you don't see it, I mean, you immediately reveal that you're playing True Draco. You have no surprises with Duality. It adds a card to hand, so Droll and Colossus, it sucks with. It just is a good card sometimes, but not all the time, so playing it at 2 is ideal. To make up for the draw power, because all my deck does is draw, is I play 1 Upstart. Yes, you can OTK in this deck with a Maiden, an Ignis, a Diagram, and a Dynamite. You don't OTK them if you give them 1,000 life points, but you get to draw a card, which it's a 0, so it replaces itself. It'll help fix your hand. It'll help get you anything that you do need, and if you draw it late game, it still does something. And 1 Desires. Desires is very integral because playing it at 1 prevents you from banishing your entire deck. I used to play Desires at 2 in this deck, and it would go up to like 43 or 42, but you're not thirsting for the draws. You play so many. This card helps you get what you need, banishes a lot of stuff you don't want to. Like today at Locals, I banished 3 carded Demise that were stacked together, so that kind of hurts, but Desires at 1 I think is very good because it gives you the option without forcing you to to rely on it. And that's it for the spells. Off to the traps, I play 3, there can only be 1. This card was great. It's the only reason Salmagrate tries to beat you. It's the only card that's going to out a lot of decks like the meta decks Salmagrate and Thunder. It's also pretty good in the True Draco mirror match because it simplifies the game state. It's just a good card. It forces them to have 1 monster. It forces you to have 1 monster. It's also a floodgate you can normal summon over. They have to dedicate Foxy or Twin Twister resources or or Rage. Actually, Roar and Rage resources to it. It just is important enough that it requires resources that they will expend on this instead of expending it on something else. I don't play with an extra deck, so as we all know, I play 3 Monarchs Erupt. Monarchs Erupt is a good card. It's a skill drain for anything that's not a tribute summon monster. It stays on the field longer than expected, especially if they pop your monster. It's a floodgate, so you can summon over it. It essentially is a great card. It's not a great card in the mirror match, obviously, but every deck has one of those really good instant side outs. But it is a good card against the meta because it amplifies the amount of negation that you use. I play 2 Waterfall. So Waterfall is a good card. A lot of people don't play it. They don't understand. This should basically be a true Draco card because if it was searchable, oh my god, it would be insane. Waterfall allows you to flip and choose one of the effects, add a worm from your worm monster from your deck to your hand. So you get a monster, which is a maiden replacer. It's a trap, so it replaces itself when you activate it. Or you can send one or any number of worms from your hand or field to the graveyard and draw 1+1 based on what you send plus 1. So if you send 1 monster, you draw 2. If you send 2 monsters, you draw 3. It is a great card to draw. You can do it on the opponent's turn. Yeah, you're not playing hand traps, but it might get you a monster over an Apocalypse summon. It might get you more cards for next turn, activated in end phase, or activated in response to Twin Twister if they target it, because at least you get something for it. It's a great card, and I think it should either stay at 2, not go down to 1, or I wouldn't probably bump it up to 3 because the deck is already so full. I play 3 True Draco Apocalypse. Obviously, this is a main deck card. You can't play less than this. It lowers the attack and it summons on their turn. It's like the best card in the deck. The reason they banned Dynamite, or they hit Dynamite down to 1, is because he gets you these. And if you get these, you're winning. This, I actually sided out even today and a few times at the regional. It's good to have at 1. I don't do much special summoning from the grave anymore, and the monsters are so integral that they shuffle back really easy. If it does get used, it summons a monster from grave and special summons it. In defense mode, it's like used as a body block or a monster to tribute over. It's also another trap, so you can target pop a monster. It's just a good card, but it's not great. But it is banned to 1. It's so good that it's banned to 1. Finally, I play like the one-ofs. This is a 1 warning. I play warning because I need an out to Denko. It's also great against like Oviraptor or any of the big things that you really can't get around with the Floodgate and you really want to get rid of. And it's a counter trap, so why not? I play 1 Judgment for the same purpose, but it also just like counters any kind of spell or trap specifically that will stop you. It's also my Twin Twister Preventer. I'll pay half my life to make sure I win the game as opposed to not. And finally, the last 2 Floodgates. I play 1 Real Skill Drain. Shoutouts to Cody for lending me this Ultra one because I only have commons. I also play 1 Order. Order was a good tech addition from Siobhan. Shout out to Siobhan for forcing me to play this even though I didn't want to. It's a good card. I sat on this card for like many turns all the way into like 300 life points twice. 2 different matches. It stops the opponent from playing. I get as much advantage as I want. It's like Mystic Mind, but better. It negates everything on field. It doesn't negate everything in graveyard. That's okay. And then Skill Drain is just if they can out the Erupt, or if I don't have a monster for Erupt to work with, then this still does everything. They're both good cards. I play them in the main deck because you can side them out as opposed to playing them on the side and signing them in. It just doesn't make any sense. So why not play them and hope to go first? And that's it for the main deck. Off to the side. The side? Yeah, the side. Come back down because I'm doing cards again. I don't know why you came up. I play 2 Border. Border is great. The hard debate is whether or not you main deck this card. I played against the guy who main decked it, and I lost to him. I got 1 loss off of that just because he Border stomped me out. It's a good card. I played it 2 because you can side it in. I don't play it I don't play it main deck because yeah, you have other Floodgates, but like I draw so much and Draco's easy to break boards, so like I don't think I need to play it main deck, but I could see it changing in time for Nats. I played 2 Vanity's Fiend. This was the niche tech because Vanity's Fiend prevents people from special summoning. It's great against Salamangreat. They have to dedicate resources to it. It's great against Thunder. It's great against pretty much Rogue. It's great against anything. The fastest way to summon this card is you need a spell and a monster already. and Vanity's Fiend. So you normal summon using the additional normal for a monster, and then you tribute that monster for your regular normal summon for Vanity's Fiend. And then by then you probably have 2 floodgates on top of this, so you just win. And Pankra can't out this, so yeah. It's not because of battle, it's because they can't special summon Pankra, in case that was not explained, because I needed to learn that apparently. But yeah, it's a great card. Having it at 2 is integral because 3 is too many. 2, you can draw into it, so realistically, if you don't open it, it's still okay. I played 2 anti-spell. I didn't see any pendulums in the last, 4 days. I've been to locals, twice and the regional. It was good against Salamangreat. It forced them to set everything, and then it's the board is back on again, and I can pop their cards. It forces the mirror to set everything, and again, you just pop their cards. It slows down the game state and really allows you more time to play. But otherwise, it's kind of a dead card, and I wouldn't main deck it. I played against 2 Orcus players. I play Lancia at 3 because Lanciaing a Thunder Danger Chaos deck is great, and Lanciaing a Orcus deck is great, and I was so afraid of dinos in Montreal that I wanted to use this on Pill, before Pill. It was blessed. So this is a great card. It's going to be a staple. I hope it does get reprinted as Ultra because it's a great card. So card of the meta right now is this, Evenly Matched at 3. Evenly Matched is an amazing card. I don't know why anyone wouldn't play it. Evenly Matched says, yeah, I don't OTK you, but you're left with 1 card, and that's okay. So this gets rid of anything and everything, problematic cards, non-problematic cards. It simplifies the game state literally down to 1 card, and that's what it's good for. Finally, a card that is the MVP of the deck. Red Reboot, I played this card at 3. It's nuts. I think the meta will shift, and I think Red Reboot's coming back. It's good against Evenly. It's good against every of the counter traps, the Orcus one and the Salamangreat one. It forces them to reset a card. I played against a guy who was playing Subterror at the regional, and he essentially didn't cut my deck well enough, and I opened and set 3 reboots. I demised and got the 3rd one and stuff, and I set them, and I just stunned him every turn and then killed him with Ignis 4 times. I just hit him over and over, and I kept rebooting him, and he was stunned by the 2nd one because he was there's no way you have 3, but it was hilarious. Reboot is a great card, and I think it's integral to this list. I think it's great against the mirror. I think it's great against anything, and traps are so important right now. The fact that you can activate this from hand by paying half your life means you don't have to set it, and you can just wait. And you can just wait and wait and wait. So that's pretty much it. Things I would change for the list. I came 14th out of a top 16 regional. Toronto Regional's coming up in 2 days. I think this list is really, really good. I lost to the True Draco Mirror because he made this card. He made Metaltron that was over everything, and I couldn't kill it because it was immune to everything, and it was nuts. So Metaltron's a really good card. I'm trying to find a way to fit it in. It's not that I don't dispute that it's a good card, but I'm not playing an extra deck, so it loses half of its advantage. Changes I would make probably is to cut something out for Metaltron, maybe the warning for the Metaltron, and just keep the Judgment because the warning is good, but I can just flip everything against the Denko. You have yet to confirm whether or not Metaltron is great because he's just main deck. He's a brick, so we'll see. So shout outs to Mark, Siobhan, Joe, Cody, Alyssa, everyone at Cravings, everyone in Toronto that knows me, plays with me, thinks that they like me. I'll see you guys at the regional, and if you guys like this deck, hit me with a like. Subscribe for more quality content. I'm sure Craig will tell you again at the end of the video. Oh yeah, shouts out to Craig. I wouldn't be playing this deck without him. I know Craig's in Jamaica right now. He's real sad that he didn't get to see me get my invite with True Draco, and I've been trying for 2.5 years, so it's been really nice. And I don't know if I'm playing it for Nats, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you.
I have one question.
Sure.
Will you be playing this deck at Nationals?
Debated. That's what I'm thinking about. We're testing it to see. Salamangreat is a good deck. Thunder is a good deck. True Draco can be a good deck. I just don't know if it can contend with the meta right now. Striker's good too, so we'll see.
And who's the best player on the team?
I don't know. It's not Mark. It's you. It's you. It's you. You're playing. It's you. Alyssa's learning how to play, so Alyssa's gonna be the best player on the team.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, it's Craig with Team Cardboard Cravings. Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, please subscribe and like and comment and add to watch later and hit the notification button if we have one. The next video should be here. Dorian, put that in the end part. And we'll see you in the next one.